I changed the locks on my house because of my son's girlfriend. My son Jaren is 23, and about 2 months ago, he started bringing this girl, Lakeisha, around. First time he mentioned her, I did what I always do. I cooked roast chicken, potatoes, green beans, fresh bread. I wanted to make a good impression because Jaren doesn't bring people home unless he's serious. She showed up late, not a little late, almost an hour. No message, no apology, just walked in like she lived there. We were all sitting at the table, food already losing heat. She dropped her bag by the door, sat down, and started eating before anyone even said anything. I waited for a sorry, or at least a hi. Nothing, just chewing. Jaren gave me that look like, please don't make this a thing, so I didn't. After dinner, we cleaned like we always do. My husband took plates, my younger daughter Mia wiped the table, I packed leftovers. Lakeisha stayed seated, scrolling on her phone, not even pretending to notice. I told myself she might just be nervous. Some people freeze up in new environments. For dessert, I brought out brownies and ice cream. It's a thing we do. Sit together, talk, unwind. I asked her what she did for work. She said, retail, and went right back to her phone. Conversation died right there. Jaren kept trying to pull her in, but she gave nothing back. When they left, Mia said, she doesn't like us. I said, she's just shy. I didn't believe it, but I said it anyway. Then she started coming over every day. At first, I thought it was just that early relationship phase where they don't want to be apart. But it didn't take long to realize she wasn't coming for Jaren. She was coming for what we had. Air conditioning that actually worked, a stocked fridge, home-cooked meals, stability, things she didn't have in her own place apparently. She started texting Jaren before she came over asking what I was making, not asking like a normal person, directing, tell your mom to make that pasta again. I'm craving something with chicken tonight. No, please. No, if that's okay. Just instructions. One night I made soup because I'd had a long day and didn't feel like cooking something big. She showed up, looked into the pot, and said, oh, I was hoping for something more filling. I stood there with the ladle in my hand, just staring at her. Jaren laughed it off, said, it's good. You'll like it. She didn't. She ate half a bowl, left it on the coffee table, and ordered takeout on her phone. Had it delivered to my house. Ate it in my living room. Didn't offer anyone anything. Mia noticed everything. She's 16, and she doesn't miss details. After Lakeisha left that night, she said, why does she act like this is her house? I didn't have an answer. It got worse. Lakeisha started doing laundry at our place. Not asking. Just showing up with a bag, throwing clothes into the washer, using our detergent, our dryer sheets, folding everything on our couch. One afternoon, I came home from work and found her asleep in my bed. Not the guest room. My bed. Shoes still on. Blanket half off. I stood in the doorway for a full minute, trying to process what I was looking at. When she woke up, she didn't even look embarrassed. She just said, your mattress is way better than ours. I told Jaren that night that this wasn't okay. He said she was going through a lot. Her roommate situation was bad. Her job hours were inconsistent. She was stressed. He asked me to be patient. So I tried. I really did. I started setting small boundaries. Asked her to at least rinse her dishes. She didn't. Asked her to let us know before coming over. She didn't. She started bringing friends. Not asking. Just showing up with 2 or 3 people. All of them eating, sitting, using the space like it was a public lounge. One of them took a shower, used my shampoo, left the bottle empty. I brought it up to Jaren again. He said, it's temporary. Temporary turned into routine. Then came the comment that shifted everything. Mia was cleaning up after dinner one night, scraping plates into the trash, loading the dishwasher. Lakeisha was on the couch, feet up, watching videos out loud. Mia said, calm but clear, you could help, you know. Lakeisha didn't even look at her, just said, I'm not family, not my job. Mia went quiet, that kind of quiet where you know something just stuck. I stepped in, said, in this house, guests help. Lakeisha finally looked at me and said, then maybe don't invite me over so much. I didn't respond, but something in me clicked into place. The breaking point came a week later. Lakeisha texted Jaren in the afternoon asking if I could make seafood, specifically shrimp and scallops. That's not cheap, not something I just throw together on a random Tuesday. Jaren said it had been a rough week for her, that she needed something nice. I didn't want to do it, but I did anyway. I went to the store, spent more than I should have, came home, cleaned, prepped, cooked, butter, garlic, herbs, everything fresh. I even set the table nicely, candles and all, because I thought maybe making it feel like a real dinner would shift something. She showed up late. Again, this time, over an hour. We waited. Food sitting there, getting colder by the minute. When she finally walked in, she didn't acknowledge the wait, didn't acknowledge anything, just sat down and started eating. Took 2 bites, then said, it's kind of bland. Did you season it? Mia stopped mid-bite. My husband put his fork down slowly. Jaren said, Lakeisha, seriously? She shrugged and said, what? I'm just being honest. I felt it rise up, all of it. Every ignored boundary, every dismissive comment, every moment I told myself to let it go. I stood up. I said her name once, and she looked at me like I was interrupting her. I said, I have opened my home to you every single day for 2 months. I've cooked for you, cleaned up after you, let you use our space like it's yours. You've never once said thank you. You've never helped. You've disrespected my daughter in her own house. You've brought people here without asking. You've slept in my bed. And now you're sitting here criticizing a meal I spent my time and money on because my son asked me to do something nice for you. She looked at Jaren, waiting for him to step in. He didn't. He just stared at the table. She said, I didn't tell you to do all that. I said, no, you didn't have to. You made it clear you expected it. She rolled her eyes. Actually rolled her eyes. That was it. I walked to the front door, opened it, and said, you need to leave. She blinked like she didn't process it. I repeated it. You need to leave, and you're not coming back. Jaren stood up, said, Mom, I held up my hand. No, this is not a discussion. Lakeisha grabbed her bag slowly, like she still thought this might turn into something else. It didn't. She walked out without saying anything. Jaren followed her. Didn't come back that night. The next morning, I changed the locks. Not because I thought she had a key, but because I needed the action. I needed something physical that said this line is real. Jaren came home later that day. He was angry, said I embarrassed him, said I overreacted. I told him he let it get to this point, that he watched it happen and chose not to step in, that this house is a place where people respect each other or they don't come in at all. He didn't argue after that, just went to his room. It's been 2 weeks. Lakeisha hasn't been back. Jaren still sees her, I think, but not here.